Hey guys, how you guys doing? Welcome back to the channel. Great to see you. Before we start the video, let's go ahead and take a minute to hit that join button. I'll wait. All right, I'm glad you hit that join button. Now, if you for some reason decided that you'd rather be a Patreon, you can go ahead and visit me on my Patreon page and become a member there. Either way, I need you to help support the channel. Thanks so much. Now, today's video, what we're going to talk about is a file that is loaded up when your computer boots. What it does is it mounts your hard drives that allows you to have access to them through your file manager. And that file, configuration file, is called or known to or referred to as FStab. Now, a lot of people are like, I don't have a problem. I just open up my file manager and we'll take a look right here. And I just click on it and it's going to want me to put in my root password because it's a sudo privilege to access on that level of a hard drive. And then it just mounts it, right? Well, what if I told you you can automatically mount it when your system boots by simply doing that with your FStab and you don't have to put in those passwords anymore? That's what we're going to look at today. Now, as you can see, it's grayed out. So we're going to go ahead and close that. The first thing that you're going to want to do is you're going to want to type in, and let me make this just a little bit bigger for you. You're going to type in sudo bulk ID, and you're going to put in your name, your root password. What the heck? Oh. Nothing like typing your password in wrong. Did I type it in wrong again? There we go. Third time's a charm. Wow. Fat fingers. See? Either way, so if this is what you get when you put in bulk ID, what it's going to do, it's going to list all of your hard drives, devices that are mounted. If you have a hard drive, it'll be SDB, like this right here, SDB1. An NVMe drive is this, literally NVMe right here. See where it says NVMe, right? It'll say SVME. If you are a thumb drive, it'll be SDC or something like that, something to that degree. But it's clearly delineated that it's a totally different drive. You pick it. Once you do this, you pick which file it is that you want to mount, right? When you do that, or which hard drive it is that you want to mount, right? Like we're going to mount our YouTube drive because that's the one that was not. That's this one right here. So what you're going to need are two pieces of information from all of this information that we have here. The first one is you're going to need this UUID right here, this whole thing right here. And then the next thing you're going to need is the type of what it is right here, which is going to be BTRFS. Of course, this is what you're looking to mount is the actual file system. So if you don't tell it the type of file system it is, it won't know what to mount. So that is the important thing to do right there. So we're doing BTRFS and this UUID. Now, what we're going to do now is we're going to open up our Etsy because that is what we did. Well, before we do that, we have to create a drive to mount it to. But before we do that, we got to see if that drive actually exists. Now, we will, when we do this, we'll open up our storage drive. Like when we do it, you see how it mounts it to run, media, Alex, and then storage, right? Well, we're going to need that for YouTube, okay? Now, when I do this, and when I type in my password, it'll automatically create that temporary folder, but it'll delete it once you reboot the machine. We're not looking for that. We want it to automatically mount every time. So we're going to have to create that folder. And to do that, we're going to have to use our simple make dir. So we're going to copy this because this is an example where we're going to mount it to. And then we're going to go to our terminal and we're going to type in make dir, sudo make dir, because you need to have root privileges to do that. Sudo make dir space. And then we're going to, this is not the one we want. This is actually a template. We're using this as a template, but instead of storage, we're gonna make it YouTube, and then just like the name, which has a space, and then drive. YouTube was capital. Actually, let's not do that. Let's not capitalize, or let's not make a space. We'll do YouTube and then drive, just like that, okay? YouTube was capital though, right? YT, yeah, the T was capital. Okay, YouTube and then drive, just like that. And then we're gonna hit enter. That now was made. So now that we've made that directory, now we've got to actually edit our Etsy or our FStab, and that is in our Etsy folder. Now I just closed that. I should have stayed open with that, but here we go. So now here's our Etsy folder. We're going to go in here. We're going to open it up, and then we're going to go all the way down to FStab. We get to FStab, which is right in the F's. Get into the F's, Alex. Let's go. A, B, C, D, E, F. Right here, we are going to open it with whichever text editor you want. Like say Vim, it'd be sudo vim etsy /FStab, enter, and then you would be editing it, right? Or nano, whatever. So just use your favorite editor. Plain text editor, doesn't have to be anything fancy. And let's go ahead and make this bigger so we can see what we're doing. Now, as you can see, right here's where I have the storage drive already mounted, right? Okay, so now we're going to do our YouTube drive. So we're going to be clean and neat because we want to delineate exactly which drive we're doing. So I'm going to do this just like it's labeled, the YouTube drive, only it's a lowercase d, right? Okay, so we're gonna make it like it's labeled. So now what we're going to do is you can follow the format right here. And also, other ones up here will tell you, okay, what you can do. As you can see, there are already ones. These ones that are here, that are under here. These are all my actual file systems for my operating system. These are the ones that mount at boot for the file system, kind of like your rooting, right? But only these were operating system ones. So that's kind of an idea, a template that you could use to kind of give you an idea of what you need to add here. Now. So that we're doing the YouTube drive. So now we're going to have to actually make this window smaller again because we're going to need that UUID for it, right? So that UUID is right here. You need to copy everything that's right here all the way to these question marks, right? Or not question mark, but the actual quotation marks. And then you want to paste it in here. Now, oh, crud. Copy. Hang on one second. Oh, right click and paste. Ah, there it is. Now, let's make this window bigger because there is something here that needs to be removed. You see this quotation mark right here? While we captured that in there, it will actually give you an error because it'll say that drive doesn't exist because you don't need the quotation marks. As you can see, like I said before, you can pay attention up here. None of these have that. This one doesn't have it. None of them have it. So make sure that the quotation mark is taken out. Next, you're going to want to put where the drive is that you're mounting it at, right? The directory that we created. Remember that directory that we created? This one right here, the Run Media YouTube drive. So we're going to copy this. Simply copy this. Dang it. I'm getting a little too handsy here. So we're going to copy this, and then we're going to go to our FStab, and we're going to paste it. Oh, that's right. Right-click, paste. So there it is. Now, here is where that other second piece of information that we needed from there that we needed to know what type of file system is it. Is it ext4, XFS, ZFS, BTRFS? What was it? I do believe it was BTRFS, but let's, for the sake of accuracy, make this window bigger and check to make sure that we got the right type of file system that it is, and it is BTRFS right there. Okay, so let's go ahead and make this one small, and let's go ahead and jump to this one, make this one huge, and we're just going to simply type in BTRFS, just like that. Now, because we're not giving it anything, it doesn't need any compression, it doesn't need any of this other stuff, because you're not mounting a whole file system, you're just mounting files that are in there, right, of itself, right? So basically what you want to do is you just want to set defaults for any type of options, flagging options, right? Like, you can set like you can mode equals 1777. I do believe that sets it as a temporary mode, and it actually deletes itself after, or clears itself after you unboot, right? Or you kill the computer. Well, in this one, we're just going to set defaults to defaults. So defaults options, and then the dump and the pass. As you can see right up here where it says dump and pass. Now, what is dump and pass? Dump and pass is basically where you can give it system checks to perform at boot. Remember, this does this all at boot, okay? Now, if you are a you know that it's an actual a boot drive, and it is like your home root directory, then you want to give it the flag of 01. Now that lets it know that loads it first, right off the bat, right? And anything else is 02, or you can do 00, and the system will auto detect it and auto load it when it wants to. So if you're not sure what to put, you can always put 00. But in this situation, because it's coming after all of the boot stuff and all the operating stuff, we're just going to make it 0 and then 2, not 5, sorry, 02. Okay, and that's it. That's all that needs to be done. Now what you do is you hit save, right? And of course, because this is an empty folder, you're going to have to give it your root password or your sudo password, and now it's saved. So now to test it, you can simply type into your hang on one second, into your terminal, sudo mount -a. Now, we may have to reload the systemd to reload all the config files because we did make a change. So I may get an error. Let's check this out. We're going to make this big. And we're going to give it a password. And yes, I am. It's giving me this system error. So I got to type in system control daemon reload. So we're just going to simply copy and paste that. Give it our sudo password, because once again, you're doing stuff at root level. And so we're going to make this big again, and then we're going to up arrow, and we're going to type that in again for sudo mount A, and it mounted. So now, when I look at my file manager, let's go ahead and close this one out. Sorry, let's close this out. I'm going to close this out. We're going to make this one full screen. You will notice U2 drive is now open. Storage is on. See how they're all lit up? So that is how you can successfully mount at boot your drive. That will automatically mount at boot, and it'll be there turned on and wonderful. It's just that simple, that easy to do. Now, you're like, Alex, I'm really not comfortable getting into those kind of files. I'm not really comfortable in terminal. Is there another option? Good thing you asked. There is. And that option I will give you in just 1 second. And that option is GNOME disks. Yes, let me show you. We're going to open up Rofi, and we're going to type in disks. And here it is. This is GNOME disks. Now, basically, if you notice when you click on this drive, if you look at the top here, it tells you the dev and the NVMe right here in the middle, right? So we know that's not the drive. Say it's one, it should be grayed out and not turned on, actually. Like if you stop it, like this is SDA1, 2 terabyte hard disk. This is going to be my YouTube drive. So we're going to stop it. And we're going to give it. And now it's not mounted. So if we open up my file manager, you'll see that it's grayed out again. See how it's grayed out right here? Let's make that bigger so you can see. See, it's grayed out. No, not lit up. Okay, so now we see that it's not mounted, right? So basically when it's not mounted, you can click on this gear icon. You could edit mount options, and you could check this box right here. Start or mount at system setup. Let's make this big so you can see it. This one right here, mount at systems, right here. See how it says defaults? Right here. Just tick that box and it'll automatically write to the FStab file all that stuff that we edited in and put in manually. That's exactly how you can do that. So now if I click on this, I click and I put in my password, boom, now it's mounted, right? So now if I close this and I open up my file manager, Dolphin, look, it's mounted just like that. So, and it's set to mount at boot, which we did when we edited the FStab. That's why that was checked. If I would have looked earlier, it would have not been checked. So there is how you can edit your FStab to mount your hard drives at boot. No more clicking in. They're just automatically loaded, ready to go and access in whatever file manager you have on your computer. So if you guys have any questions, leave a comment down below. Also, make sure that if you have any suggestions for any other videos you'd like to see me do, leave them in the comments down below. Or you can message me. Or you can go to my Discord and you can message me on Discord. Leave something in there. Guys, the Discord group is growing and growing and growing. Run over there, join the community, help make the community great, and be included in everything that we do here at the Linux Tube. Either way, you guys keep doing what you do. Keep on Linuxing. Stay blessed. And above all, have a great day.